What's poppin', players? Welcome back to a Two Penny Game Club, your monthly video game book club. I am your host, Tavin Bothel, here with my good friends and co-hosts. Say hello to the people, Connor, Elliott.
Hello and cheers.
Hey, and say hello to the people, Phil, Shoemaker.
Yeah. How's it going?
We're here. We're here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is, of course, your Two Penny Game Club, your monthly video game book club in which me and the boys play a game in the background during the selected month, and then we come to you at the beginning of each new month with our review, and we rank it amongst our other games in the list. This month,
What do we play?
Connor, you had us play Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, and boy, oh boy, what a time it was, right, buddy? How was Dark Messiah?
I actually had a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
So do I. In the first, opening 15 minutes, you see a beautiful, large-breasted woman. It is fantastic. It is a number... What is it? You know what? Hades has lots of breasts as well. It is below Hades on the list. Right below it. Better than Yakuza 0. That's just the way it is.
Anyways, this is, of course, a joke. Yeah, if you've clicked on this video expecting for a different game, it's because we are reviewing that game. That game is Doom 2016. We tried playing Dark Messiah. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
It's
available.
I don't know what they're talking about.
It's available on Steam. Not really available anywhere else. It's kind of, unless you want to drag out an Xbox 360, which none of us currently have the hardware for. Oh, you do, but we're not doing that.
By the way, I'm going to bring that game back on the Xbox 360.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend $64 for that copy, which is the cheapest version I saw.
Okay, great. Awesome.
Wait, you had to log into Xbox 360 and buy it again?
No.
He's going on eBay or...
Oh shit.
Yeah.
360 store shut down, so
It is,
that's no longer an option.
I mean, that was in the middle of the month though.
It
It
was.
was just a week ago.
But
A week ago.
trust me, guys, you're not done with that game yet. You are for a while, though. Because, you know what, Tavin? Let's let Phil know. Because we haven't told him the deal you and me reached.
Whoa.
Oh, you want to hold back, huh?
Oh, hang on.
Whoa.
Was there some collusion in terms of vetoes later on, or what?
And-
Whoa.
Well, he's denying. I don't know what
I don't know what's
trying to shut down
happening. I don't know what's
Please.
happening. I would never go against the sanctity of the show.
Connor, please enlighten me on
I would never go
camera.
against the sanctity of the show.
Please enlighten
All
me
right.
on camera, Connor.
You know what? No. I'm not playing this game with you, Tavin. Listen, viewers.
So,
I'm not like this
we
guy.
had to pivot.
No. I'm not like this guy.
I'm
I'm not like him. Yeah. Fucking shut up. He tries to hide the truth. Pull the wool over your eyes. I don't. I'm trained as a journalist. That's not my purview. So the deal that we reached is that for our personal picks of games, I am going to assist him in choosing his Metal Gear Solid games. In exchange, after that's gotten to 4, he's going to switch and help me get to Dark Souls 2. And
You're a fucking bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, I want to get through Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1 and get all the other special stuff. And that's the deal.
You're a piece of shit.
Could have been you.
You're a piece of shit.
Could have been you.
I made the deal.
What about? I wouldn't make that fucking deal.
Listen, you got the text first. You got the first text message. You know what I'm saying?
You offered him a deal?
I didn't offer him a deal.
I don't have any kind of message from Tavin.
That's a lie.
I have not responded
He's a
to.
lie. He's a liar.
Tavin, you just tried to lie a
DMs up and
second ago. Now we're supposed to trust
I'll pull my
you?
DMs and show Connor right now.
Anyways, so we had to pivot to Doom 2016 because we wanted to play a game that you can just load up on a good old classic PlayStation 5 and
games at all. Nothing to do.
And all of that. Anyways,
that.
it was like a month ago when I asked you if you wanted to pick Sons of Liberty. Don't worry about it. So, gentlemen,
It never happened.
yes, it did happen, but
It did happen, but I immediately said no.
Gentlemen, some quick facts for you, of course. Doom 2016 first released May 3rd, 13th, excuse me, 2016. See, this is when you motherfuckers throw me off my fucking little bastard.
I didn't do anything.
May 13th, 2016 on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Windows.
2 weeks before my birthday.
The highest scoring critic review is on Metacritic is for the Xbox One at 87%, but the other ones weren't too crazy either. We first pulled it up and it pulled up the Nintendo Switch because that's the most recent released version, and that's a 79. And both me and Connor went, that can't be right.
No.
So yeah, 85s to 70 to 87s is usually where it ranks on Metacritic. And sales, little tricky. We don't have hard sales numbers. We know it performed quite well at first.
Yeah.
And then when it was released on Switch, it did perform well there. So approximately on PC reached 500,000 copies before the end of May 2016, 1 million copies in August, and 2 million in July of August. Yeah, and then of July of 2017, it had 2 million. And then when Doom released for Switch, it was the fourth best-selling title of its debut week. Of course, you also have to add on PlayStation sales and Xbox sales, so you're looking in the realm of well over 3, probably closer to 5 million copies amongst all the different versions of the title. So selling pretty well. Now, let's get into our thoughts on Doom. Doom 2016 is just a fucking blast. I don't know if there's a game that is more badass that we have played on this list to date. It is just balls to the wall action the whole time, and somehow the pacing never is interfered. It has great pacing, even though it's just constantly just blasting demons in the face and ripping and tearing guts apart and so forth. There should be a class studied in how they are able to keep it at such a fast-paced, frenetic, energetic pace up for so long. The game is never boring. The game is never frustrating. It never feels like, ugh, I don't want to do this right now. And it's just got superb first-person shooting combat. Absolutely. Hey, 343, this is how you should be taking notes for how Halo should feel. This is what Halo should feel like in the modern era. We don't need a sprint. We don't need loadouts and classes and things like that. We just need a fast movement speed, agile dudes with some big, meaty weapons. That's all we need for Halo to work. And then, on top of that, this game might have the best sound design of any game we've played up to this point. Like, from the way the guns sound when you shoot them, the pickups when you pick them up, the way the carcasses sound when you're ripping them apart. It's just excellent, superb, perfect sound design. The music, headbanger from go. Like, you are just rocking the fuck out from beginning to end. I love pretty much everything about this game. There's very little that I could even nitpick and find wrong with it outside of like, hey, it's kind of weird when Robot Man pulls you into a room and narrates to you for like 2 minutes, but then you're right back into it and it's right back to being awesome, right? Level design, exploration, gunplay, balance, like just the way that encounters are balanced and how each room kind of feels like a puzzle in itself on how you're going to engage with the enemies. And when things start getting rough, what do you switch to? You're like, what weapons do you pull out to be like, all right, I gotta do some heavy damage right now in this way. And I always found myself gravitating to whatever gun I felt worked best in the situation. There was not a weapon that went unused in my arsenal. Every single one has a purpose, and that's phenomenal game design. On top of that, the game's got character. From just how badass and like blood and gory it is, but like then it gets like a little cute and it hands you like easily one of the best collectibles of all time in the little Doom guy minifigurines that you can like, you'll pick it up and he'll adjust the arm and give it a little fist bump. The secrets in this game, finding the hidden levels from the original Doom game spread across the game like this, like it's just the most rewarding experience that you can have playing a video game just based off of pure gameplay, like epic badassness. Doom knows exactly what it needs to be and executes on that perfectly. Now, does it have like this great amazing story? No. Is it getting me in my feelings? Not necessarily. But you don't want it to. That's not what you're here for when you're talking about Doom. And so it keeps all of the narration, it keeps all of the pulling control away from the player to as minimal as it can, and just says, go have fun. This game is peak, like, just go have fun and rock out. And there's very little like negative I can say to that. I think everything they do here works. Connor, you have had some experience with Doom 2016, but you've never beaten it before. Where are you at with Doom?
Until now, that is. When this game came out, it seemed to come at a time where the fast-paced first-person shooters of yore didn't really have much, presence in the gaming community.
Everything had to be realistic. Everything had to be grounded. Long-ass cutscenes for no reason.
And to be able to take those kinds of old games and contextualize it in a modern setting and do it as well as Doom did is pretty amazing. You know, the music, as Tavin touched on, carries every single, great gameplay segment that this game has to offer just by pumping your blood full of iron. And the Doom Slayer himself has become, since this game came out, a video game cultural icon for a reason. The style of everything, whether it's you're ripping demons in half to the random little comedy bits, whether it's the, actions of the Doom Slayer basically disregarding traditional protagonist, logic of trying to make more complex, nuanced decisions to just being this simple, brutal killing machine, really adds a lot of charm to the game. Pair that with, as once again Tavin said, every single gun packing a major punch, coming with upgrades, 2 different upgrades that can be switched out, where effectively every single one you wanted to get and know how that exactly feels. In addition with things like the upgrade system, which I will say is a little bit lacking, can allow you to pace up the game a little bit better depending on which upgrades you get. Being able to grab ledges quicker, being able to switch between mods quicker, being able to take less damage from your own weapons so you can go blasting creatures that, are standing right in front of you with a rocket launcher. Everything seems to facilitate badassery, and the game does it extremely well. I found that some of the, shooting arenas where you're running through, killing all these enemies, while the gameplay itself is incredibly solid, I felt like the arenas would kind of get bland and samey after a while, and I would basically get to a position where I'm just going circular, to try and dodge enemies, and there's nothing really, preventing me traversal-wise from doing that, and so the game is very easy on normal. Maybe, I like to play normal games, normal modes on these kinds of games on this segment, so we can all have a concise opinion, but this is one that I think benefits from playing on hard mode. And frankly, if you play it on normal for the first time, there's things to go back to. The secrets you can find, the, Argent Energy, the mods that can, the drones that can unlock more mods. If for some reason you didn't get a lot of that stuff your first playthrough, you'll have a little bit of entertainment trying to find those rather than just sinking into the gameplay the game has to offer. And, that combined with a fun gameplay loop gives this some replayability. The guns feel good. Yeah, I guess that's right. Tavin covered a lot of what we were talking about, why this game is good, but it's one of those that's super easy for anybody to play. Even somebody who's not really a big video game player could pick this game up and have fun with it because it's simple, but it's not too simple if you decide to raise it to hard. And
I put it on hard.
You put it on hard?
Yeah, from the jump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted to, but I was like, I'd do all the games normal. I'm going to do this one normal, keep the trend going.
Phil, where were you at with Doom 2016, your first time through it?
I really enjoyed it. I had a great time playing through Doom 2016, and I really agree with a lot of what you and Connor had to say. I thought that the level design was near immaculate. I do kind of agree with Connor in some points where things did get kind of samey in some of these arenas where you were just kind of running around.
Big room, lots of demons.
Almost like Black Ops Zombies, kind of like training them behind you in a way, at least with like some of the imps and like smaller enemies. I didn't really... I thought that fighting some of the enemies, like the enemy variety is great. I just thought that some of the enemies were a lot more annoying in a bad way.
Oh, really?
Like I think they're called the Kako demons, like the
floating heads.
Floating heads. Yeah, I thought they were just really annoying, and I would try to get a visceral or whatever it's called. What was the
glory kill?
Glory kill. I would try to go for a glory kill, and they were almost always too far away from me to jump up and grab them. And you don't. When you're first interacting with these cacodemons, you only really have one longer range option, and that's the heavy assault rifle. You don't really get the it's like a
Gauss cannon.
The Gauss cannon. You don't get that till a little later. That one is probably one of my favorite weapons in the game. But like y'all were saying, a lot of these weapons are just as fun as other weapons to use. It's almost like you just have your own little like 7, I don't know how many there are, but like 7 tool kit of all these different things that can work. The only one that I why are you using this unless you're completely out of ammo for whatever reason, out of chainsaw, out of everything, is the pistol. That's just because you start with it. It's supposed to be kind of the pea shootery, kind of weapon that like they even have a challenge in one of the levels to beat one of the harder enemies with the pistol. So that's kind of just like a novel type of weapon to use. One of those challenge run type things. I do think that at some point I will play through this game again on a harder difficulty. If not only just to get the trophy that's associated with completing some of the levels on a higher difficulty, but I thought that a lot of it was one of these games where when you do die, it's never like, oh man, that was such bullshit. It's like, oh, okay, I did this. I stood in this acid for a little too long, or
focus this guy first.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Exactly right. You just know almost immediately exactly where you went wrong, and then you immediately can go through and correct that. But I liked this game a lot, and I'm glad that we rolled it.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
There are 7 weapons, 8 including the BFG, 9 including the chainsaw.
Yeah.
I fucking nailed it.
And that's another thing where like the balance between weapons, like they give you the infinite ammo little pea shooter pistol that does suck, right? But if you get it upgraded, the charge shot is pretty decent, right?
Yeah.
But I love a game or like a shooter of any kind where they go, all right, here's a shitty little pistol. It sucks, but it's got infinite ammo for those times that you're out of ammo. But to speak to like just structure of game design, they've got a perfect loop going on here between your main guns, the chainsaw, and the BFG. Mm-hmm. Of course, using your main guns regularly, but the chainsaw, you run up, get a glory kill with it. That's fucking brutal animations that are always fun to watch. Never get old, even if you see the same one again and again. And I love that you can experiment with different angles and come at enemies at different angles for glory kills.
And that works into fact with all the challenges you can do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and the challenges for each level are fun to go after. Like, they're not... There's never a time where you're like, fuck, okay, yeah, all right, I'll go do this. No, every time you're like, oh, that's cool, let me try that.
And then, like, if you don't get it, you're like, oh, let me try it again to see if I can try it a different way.
Yeah. And even, like, finding all the secrets in the levels, I digressed. The balance of the combat where it's like, all right, I'm going to use the chainsaw to get ammo. That'll let me use my favorite guns again. And then, oh, shoot, I'm too overwhelmed. It doesn't matter what gun I pull out. BFG time, screen wipe. Really good, just full balance of it all. The speed, the agility you can get. The one thing that I think like doesn't matter so much is the runes. Connor, you talked about how like the upgrade trees are really basic and like, you know, a little lacking or whatever. I kind of like that they're lacking. I kind of like that it's just like, what do you want? More health, more ammo, more armor.
I was talking like, more of the like, you can jump ledges faster. Those ones you were saying are good. It's the grenades recharge faster. You know, the equipment recharges faster.
I like those too. Because it
I like
feels
the
like
lifesteal grenade.
It feels like you don't need them. Right, yeah, and that you could just get them, or you can get through the game without them, and but adding them on makes it feel additive and not like there's a lot of games where like they withhold upgrades to you that make it feel like, oh, this is a core component of the game, and you're just making the game actively less fun by withholding it from me until I get to a certain level or arbitrary level or whatever. Right, that doesn't feel this way for these upgrades, whether they're in the guns, the armor, or the like little like. Abilities or whatever. I do think the runes particularly don't have a huge effect on gameplay either, or it's kind of a set it and forget it type of thing for me.
For you, I understand, but to your point earlier,
you're saying runes.
Yeah,
I was saying rooms.
No, yeah, the runes that you get from the challenges, or the challenge runes, which those are fun. But yeah, like I just don't think they add a whole lot.
Well, to that point, I actually think those are more interesting than any of the upgrades besides the weapon upgrades that you can get. To your point earlier about how you would sometimes have issues with executions, one of them is that it allows you to do it at a farther distance away.
Oh, okay.
If you have an issue where you're constantly having to like go out of the way to pick up ammo, there's a way to do that. It allows tailoring to your gameplay experience in ways that you can enjoy the most. One of the jumps, one of them is that it allows jumps to give you more control in the air.
That's one of them. I said it, forget it. Like, it's just not even a thing.
I liked it, but I found other ones to be more what I would want to have equipped to my character. I think it allows for that extra customization that just elevates the gameplay slightly more, especially because
it gives it enough like personalize your flavor of Doom, but everybody's still having the same experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I had I can't remember what all of my runes were, but 2 of them were the when you glory kill, you get armor, and then the other one was when you get ammo.
Yes, did those 2. Yeah. And then I did the one that was at a distance, which I would have had that same criticism as you did, but I never had that problem after I equipped that rune. So it was tailor made for me.
Yeah, I just don't have. I glory killed cacodemons at some point, but it was never my goal to glory kill one.
Sure.
No.
And it's just always like, all right, well, I can get it off of the little
for
useless
me,
guys, or I can do it off of one of the Hell Knights or something like that.
Yeah. For me, it's one of those things where like anytime I had the opportunity to glory kill something, I almost always like, oh, I want it. I want to go for it. Just because it's fun, it's cool. But I just wanted to talk about how well I think that this game encourages like exploration.
Yes.
And just how good the maps are, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like, so like, you'll be going through a level and then you'll see that there's a room that's like locked off to you, right? So I, more often than any other time, I would run across that and be like, oh, how do I get in there? And so I would stop what I was doing, whatever I was doing, and I would exhaust literally every part of the map trying to see exactly where to go until like, okay, I guess I'll just go there later. And so then I would go like, or maybe one room later and be like, right there.
Wait, while we're on that topic, I found that while those secrets and the collectibles, the figures are cool, none of them really add that much to the game.
I disagree.
I think they're just like fun little things that if you like doing that kind of stuff, you guys are trophy gamers, so you'd more have a chance of liking that than me.
Tickles my brain.
All of those things. No, I disagree wholeheartedly.
See,
all of those things feed into the upgrade loop so well, or are just like fun to get to where like it's just like, why would you not want to?
Are you talking about the mission objectives?
No,
like,
I'm talking like the little chips you pull out of the dead soldiers to get upgrades for your armor and stuff. Or,
no.
Finding the challenge runes that like you press on the green.
Let me
stone
specify.
Or whatever.
Let me specify. It's the collectibles and the secrets, not the.
Well, the secrets are those.
Yeah, those are the secrets.
Oh, they were. I thought I was missing like a bunch of like random fucking rooms and weird small things.
No.
Oh, I was just like, well, I guess just missed those.
Secrets apply to literally everything.
Okay, never mind.
It'll literally pop up on screen, secret found.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes a secret is just health and ammo.
Those are lacking, but most of them are.
Yeah,
like you
but
said,
most of them are like, here's a Doom figurine, here's a challenge room,
here's a drone,
here's an upgrade or a drone.
Praetor token. So
Yeah. So yeah, it's all stuff like that.
I was a big fan of. I think it was.
Or this game does my favorite thing that I fucking love, and all video games need to do it. You can get things early. This game, it's in the form of weapons.
Yeah.
I got the rocket launcher before I got the assault rifle.
Same.
See,
I was like, oh shit,
Yeah, so
cool.
did
I thought that was cool, but the pacing of the game plus the size of the game makes it to where by the end of the time I finished it, while I thought that was cool initially, I'm like, well, this wouldn't really made that much of a difference at all because I just got it shortly afterwards. It's not like there's a big gap.
I mean, I feel like I missed where they gave you the assault rifle. I feel like I missed that because it should be an early weapon, right?
I honestly didn't even like put it together that I like got it early.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, kind of weird that they give you the rocket launcher before like an assault rifle.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Or like the minigun, there's like a secret little room in one of the big battle arenas, and it's like secret found.
Yeah,
here's a minigun.
Here's
oh
the minigun.
shit, cool. I think every game should have some version of you can get this early.
I really like the I think it's a suit upgrade where you can make it to where like your controller vibrates when you're close to a secret.
Yeah, and then the radar like glows and stuff. Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, it's just I feel like any critique you could have of the game, at least in a single player campaign, there's something to counteract it. There's something that goes, yeah, that, but this. And it's like, wouldn't you rather have the but this? And I feel like more often than not, absolutely, you would rather have the but this.
Absolutely.
Is it even worth talking about multiplayer?
Well, this fucker couldn't get up out of his bed to come join us.
If it was any other time,
You say that, Connor.
Once?
You say that, Connor. 45 minutes into us playing multiplayer, I saw you in the kitchen.
I got water. I'm thirsty.
So here's the thing. The multiplayer at launch, I played it where there was an active player base, and it wasn't great. Like, it was okay. There was some fun to be had, but it definitely wasn't more than like a weekend. I think you, me, and the guys tried it like once, and then maybe I played like an extra couple of days or whatever, and then stopped. It's not fantastic, but there is fun to be had in it. The only problem is, at least on PlayStation, I'm hearing on Steam it's different, but at least on PlayStation, just ignore it. At least on PlayStation, the servers are dead. There are exactly 0 players in the servers. Like there's just nobody. There's just nobody to play against right there. So me and Phil spent one night playing in custom games.
What, like 45 minutes to an hour?
We probably played over an hour.
Really?
Honestly, yeah.
I don't remember.
And
Late.
And we had some fun with that. There was some joy of like the balance of just like fighting each other. We didn't get any progression, so like we were just stuck with basic. Not even create your own loadouts, just the basic loadouts that they give you, which is a sign of the times, because when's the last time you fucking seen a progression system like that?
Right.
You know?
It's also one of those things where I've kind of... I don't think I'm all the way okay with it yet, but I know I'm not going to platinum this game because there's multiplayer trophies.
Are there really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Kills it for you now too, huh?
I already have it.
Oh shit!
I already have it. But I'll say this is a shitty ass platinum trophy run. You have to play. There's also a user generated part of the game where you get to create your own levels and snap maps and stuff like that. And yeah, I played around with some of those. They were back in the day. They were almost always terrible. And you have to play every single tutorial for the snap map, and that takes like 3 hours.
Jesus, really?
Maybe not that long. It felt like 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
It's a long time, and it's boring and annoying, and like it's so tedious, and so
this is like their forge mode or whatever. Like,
yeah, it's essentially that. They try to simplify it because you're creating levels for players to run through and so forth, but nobody's creative enough to actually
like a Mario Maker type thing.
Yeah, kind of that type thing. Yeah, like cool idea, but not necessary, and
for an execution.
So it's one of those things where it's just like they nailed what they were going for so hard, but the era that this game came out of, they were like, well, you got to have something to have a community or something going on, right?
Very often, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
As we've talked about in the past.
Well, I was saying to Phil, this is the end of that era of great single player games having tacked on multiplayers.
Yep.
This is like the very end of that. So it was like this, and then like you didn't really get too many more examples after this game came out. And I'll be honest, even though it's not great, I'd still wish that multiplayer was active. I'd probably be playing a little bit more of it, like just to live in the world of Doom a little bit more, just to have the gameplay a little bit more. Connor, you can get glory kills in multiplayer.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Brutal, huh?
It's badass.
Yeah. Cool.
And if you're a bitch, you can use a BFG on your friend for repeated times.
Jesus.
The BFG really wasn't that big of a deal. It was the Gauss cannon that fucked you up.
Both. We had to
unless you hit them directly with the BFG, it just does like AoE damage.
He was such a piece of shit. Anytime a fucking power weapon spawned for like the first 2 or 3 games, he would go for it immediately. I'm like, you're such a fucking pussy.
He is.
Fight me head on like a man.
Yeah, I think you're just mad that you're not faster than me.
Fight me head on like a man.
If you had gotten to it first, you wouldn't have this position.
Ills being right.
There's like 3 different like loadouts that it starts you with. There's like assault rifle and
rocket launcher? No, grenade launcher, which isn't in the main game.
Yeah,
I also like from this era of great single players tacked on multiplayers, they would add new weapons that aren't in the main game.
And then it was rocket launcher and shotgun. Oh yeah, rocket launcher and
the super shotgun was paired with the I think it was
sniper rifle.
The sniper rifle, yes.
And
then it was like assault rifle and rocket launcher.
What was with the grenade launcher?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was rocket launcher SMG.
Yes, the plasma thing.
Yeah.
The one with like the bubbles that you shoot.
Yeah, not a great weapon.
Then the one that used the same ammo as the Gauss cannon.
Yeah, probably my least favorite weapon in the game.
I liked it. I liked the overheating thing.
Yes,
I like that.
I like its stun. The stun grenade is good. I like that, but other than that, nah.
No, I like the heat ventilating.
Yeah.
Especially when you get the final upgrade, which it does automatically.
And it just automatically charges.
And sometimes you'll pull it out. Easy, free shot.
Because even while you didn't have it equipped, it would charge.
Oh, really? So you just
Yeah.
switch to it and you
Yeah.
have it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That was really good. And then you would get like special equipment for each loadout too. So like the super shotgun sniper rifle was a personal teleporter.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah.
I think the grenade launcher gave you
There was effort put
frag
into
grenade,
the
yeah.
multiplayer. There was thought. Like, all the maps are original. They're not ripped out of the single-player campaign or vice versa, where multiplayer maps first into the campaign. Like, they are, like, original maps with, like, there's original weapons and abilities and stuff that are only in the multiplayer that you wouldn't know if you hadn't played it.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I appreciate that effort. I wish games would still kind of do that. They don't anymore. And I know why, because it took away from development time, and games already cost so much, and
Now they take forever to goddamn make.
yeah, literally. So it's just like I get why we are in the era that we're in right now, but we used to be able to have our cake and eat it too. And it wasn't a very tasty cake, but
It was a good cake.
it was, it was a cake,
You'd go to Kroger and you'd pick up one of their cakes. Is it the best cake you've had? No, but you enjoy it.
You enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You enjoyed it. Hey, listen, McDonald's is popular for a reason. Is it the best fucking hamburger on the goddamn world? God, no. But tasty. You like it. You can get better for cheaper too. But, you're like, it's there. I miss that.
She's all caught up in your.
Bring that back.
Yeah, it keeps moving, and I'm like, I guess she's caught up. It was only a matter of time before she kills herself.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
That's his dog you're talking
Guys,
about.
I am violent against this dog. Call me for animal abuse because I do it. I don't.
Go. There you go. Good job.
You know what?
She licked the fuck out of my water cup, by the way. I'm going to have to watch that when I get
it's
home.
new.
Yeah, she does that. She also, like, anything that's cold, she really likes. So she does that.
Give her the ice.
I just know that at some point I'm going to forget.
I'll remind you.
Yeah. There's a thing for me where it's just like things like Snap Map, things like multiplayer. Are they great? No, they're not. In fact, like, ideally they should take away points from the game, right?
But they don't.
But you like, it's not the reason you're there, right? Sure. Like, yeah. It's for the same reason. If you didn't like Last of Us Factions for whatever reason, because you're a weirdo, because that multiplayer mode was awesome. But if you didn't like Last of Us Factions, are you going to count against The Last of Us for that? That's not why you're there.
You could for like a Call of Duty, of course.
Yeah.
For Battlefield, for a think of something else. A game where a multiplayer is a part of the reason why you're coming to the game.
Yeah.
With something like Doom, you get there, you play the single player campaign, which is why you got it, and then you say, well, there's a multiplayer, there's a map maker, I'll try it out.
Yeah.
But even regardless of the quality of it, it just doesn't detract points from that core gameplay experience of Doom 2016's campaign.
I will say, to your point about replayability, it's true that it is fun to replay and go through levels and stuff. Some of those early levels are so basic in design because you don't have things like the double jump, or you don't have your wide variety of weapons or things like that. Little tedious to get through some of them. Of course, the later levels are all awesome because they're awesome, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, there is just a bit of tedium, a bit of like, this isn't the most fun thing in the world, replaying it off of a New Game Plus or something. Now, I will say there's a difference, and this was a conversation, I think, when we played Final Fantasy VII. And when we ranked it above Hades, because Hades is inherently replayable because it's built into the loop, but Hades isn't fun to start from scratch. There's a different level of replayability versus New Game Plus versus starting from scratch.
Sure.
Doom 2016 is always fun to start from scratch.
I went and played an old mission again, and it was nice to have all the weapons available to you. It's nice.
It's nice, but like you feel like it feels like you're like kicking first graders. Like,
which is the problem with the replayability. Like, it has the elements of being replayable, but I have no desire to do it again.
That was going to be my question, because I haven't started like a New Game Plus run or whatever. Yeah. So like it's a stage select or what?
Yeah, it's like a chapter select type thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
There'd be no reason to play the game again without playing on a higher difficulty.
Gotcha.
It'd be weird if you didn't.
Gotcha.
It's fun to explore. It's fun to get all the secrets.
That's the thing. It's like, those are nice, but is it like are those elements worth replaying it? I'd say no.
I'm wondering because like I still like trophies.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, will it still give me, because there's like,
what are the multiplayer trophies?
It's like I think the only multiplayer trophies is maybe win a game and then progress to level 5 or something like that.
Oh yeah, you're not getting that.
Yeah.
That sucks.
But I was gonna say, so like, is there? So if I did chapter select and I went and got all the secrets in that chapter, will it then give me the reward at the end of me getting all of them? Will it give me the? It's like, oh, collect.
If it's still within the same save, yes.
Okay.
But like if you like start from scratch, you're starting
because it says like the words inner run or something like that.
I think that's specifically in the chapter is what it's talking about there.
Got it.
So like yeah, if it's like kill 40, if it's kill like 20 demons with a glory kill in a run, it means like from when you load into that chapter.
Gotcha.
I believe is what they're talking about. Oh Jesus Christ! I got a new phone, so now I got to sign into all my things. So I was trying to look at the multiplayer trophies for Doom. Here we go.
I get you. But no, I really had a good time with this. We'll let Tavin get this loaded up, and then I guess we'll rank it.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. One of the really, I had mentioned this when we and Tavin were talking about it. I kind of mentioned it in my bit of the review. Those moments where Doom guy's personality comes out are always like a fun and charming thing. The most notable one being the one in the very first, like the epilogue or the prologue. Yeah, where you're going in an elevator, you're getting ready, it's amping you up to the rest of the game and to the badass title drop.
Yeah.
I love that title drop. And you're talking to the guy who effectively caused everything unintentionally, and he's saying, "Believe me, this was for the good of mankind." And just that moment of Doom looking down at the dead guy with his face basically ripped off in the elevator, just adds that level of character to
even the moment before it, which is kind of lost today because games don't do it anymore. But this was in the era where it was like, "Hey, we're gonna pull up this screen, and you gotta read everything that's on this screen, and we gotta tell you everything about the world. We're going to have this huge, long story section that's unskippable." And there's a point where they go to do that, and they frame it, and he pulls up a little, like, computer screen, and then, like, numbers start flashing, and you're like, it's telling you how bad the situation is. And there's just a point where he just goes, "Yeah, okay," and then just grabs it and throws it away. And, like, fuck the rest of that information, man. Who gives a shit?
Oh, yeah. It's whenever right before you get your first Argent energy cell.
I think it's, like, it might be before you even get the fucking armor.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's
early. It's right after you get the armor.
Oh, right after you get the armor.
Moment,
okay.
He's like testing out his systems and looks at the screen.
And like the first objective where it's like, "Hey, this portal's open. You got to shut it down by turning off these machines." And then you get to the machine, and the guy goes, "All right, now you have to be very delicate here." And he just fucking smashes it, and it's like, yes, this is exactly right.
The funniest part of that is the last one. No, the second to last one where you do it, where he's like, you go to step on it, and he stops because he starts saying, "Wait. This is extremely important. Yeah. I understand you might not think so, but it's for the good of humanity. Don't destroy it." And he stops and then just goes and does it.
The best is even the last one where finally Hayden, Dr. Hayden gets the gist, and he goes, "Well, it is very important, and you're costing us billions of dollars, but I'm sure that's going to be lost on you." And then you smash it, and he goes, "Yep, all right."
It just gives in. Which... those moments, I wish they happened more, as good as they are. I feel like after that destroying the objective part, it just doesn't really happen again.
I think it's because the game is making a statement for the time. For the time, it's like, all right, you gotta do this slow mini game of twisting the thing and pulling it out. Like that was such like a 2013, 14 era of games that like just forced you to do these really boring things and made you do things that you didn't want to do. And Doom, for the time, was like, we know why you're here. Fuck all the rest of this shit. So yeah, it's a statement in the beginning so that like anytime where a gamer can go, fuck one of these moments, they immediately go, oh, it's not one of those moments. And then last half of the game, fucking shoot and kill everything. But I think also by then they start getting complex with level design and they start tickling your brain in other ways.
I feel like they don't do enough in that regard. They're good level designs.
You're not exploring enough because there's some complicated moments.
It's all the exploring of those smaller bits the levels have to offer. I don't think it's worth that much. I'm golden pathing it for the most part. Besides the main mission objectives for that level or the security drones, ardent energy, Praetor tokens, those I always felt like I want to go and find these things.
Yeah.
But everything else, all the extra stuff was just nice to have, but it wasn't, it didn't make me want to go look for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, see, and that's where the game kind of dips into puzzle a little bit, and you go, how do I get to this room? And that is satisfying and that is fun to be like, oh, I figured it out. I got it. I found this little narrow passageway that isn't shown clearly on the map. I do think the map could be better designed to kind of show you your options and so forth, or like at least where rooms are connected.
God, I'll tell you what. Playing this game on PS5, opening the map and then like not realizing I'm still using the touchpad is very annoying.
I just use the sticks.
Because I'll hit the button, but I won't move my. I'll use you move it around with the left stick, right? So I'll use my right thumb, hit the touchpad, and I know I'm going into a map, so I don't like necessarily move my thumb. So I'm like, I think. Sorry, I think I'm losing where I'm at. So
This is a very Phil problem.
It is very no. I'm saying it's very much a me problem.
Yeah.
But like I was very annoyed because I was like, I'm trying to move it and it won't move, or like it'll move right back because my thumb is still there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just stupid.
Yeah, that is a filler.
No,
That's
that's
a
what I'm
fill.
saying.
Yeah, because my ass touches it and goes back to the stick.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just me.
because the stick is how you zoom in and out.
It didn't. No,
the
it
right
didn't-
stick.
It didn't
Everyone's-
take anything. But I'm not really.
Everybody has their own gameplay quirks.
But no,
Sure.
I'm.
That's how it goes.
I think it's because I also play claw when I play first person shooters. So like
Oh, like
claw.
what?
No.
Claw.
Oh,
If you gave me a controller, I'd show you.
Yeah, with your index finger, instead of your index finger being on the bumper, it's on like triangle.
oh, okay.
Yeah. PlayStation Edge solves that problem. Put that jump on a back paddle. But what else did I have? I had the switch weapon mods on a back paddle because it was
feel like-
annoying reaching for a D-pad
Yeah,
for that.
way better.
I feel like me being me, it would take me extraordinarily long to get used to the things being on a different thing from the face buttons. Because I've literally been playing claw since I was 9.
It's
So
just
15
the only
years at this
thing
point?
is
Oh,
that
no, 17.
I play a lot of like single player games, so not every game is meant to have like it. Not every game needs it.
Right.
Games like this where it's a little fast paced, and I want something quick without losing my ability to look around by moving a finger, or my ability to press another button by moving a finger. Those extra two giving my middle finger something to do is great. But yeah, it depends like game to game. Like it's funny, like jumping into like Spider-Man 2. It's funny how like the web wings are tied to holding triangle. Well, I didn't play Spider-Man 2 that way, but when I have my PlayStation Portal, there's
Tied
no
to holding?
Yeah, you hold triangle. You get the web wings out.
You not just press it when you're in the air?
Yeah, it's like a half a second hold, but it's a
just
hold.
press it.
No, it's a hold. They tell you to hold it. And so when I got my PlayStation Portal, those don't have back buttons. So it was an adjustment for me to like not grip the back of the controller and go, oh shit, there's nothing there. All right, hold to get these out.
Yeah. All right. Well,
all right.
I think that's we've gone as far as we can about talking about the game. So let's just decide where we rank it.
Let's go ahead. Let's pull this baddie up. Hold on, I got y'all.
I am saying out the gate, Phil, you're going last.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are.
Who's going
because
first?
frankly, your ranking of things is
Doesn't
compared to me
matter.
and Tavin
Fuck
the
you.
worst. So you just have to have the least impact with your voting decision. That's
Each
not true.
vote has equal impact, Connor.
I know. Yeah, the whole bit is that both me and Tavin, I've tried to not do this now, but I was drunk, so I talked with Tavin about where I thought I would place the game. He did as well. Me more hardline, him an idea. So I want to see your deciding
So,
factor.
ladies and gentlemen, the list stands as always. We rank every game that we've done in the Game Club series. There are currently 25 entries on the list. Stick with me for a minute while I read through the 25 currently on the list. We have number 25, Fable. 24, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. 23, Prey. 22, Tomb Raider. 21, Batman Arkham Asylum. 20, Uncharted Drake's Fortune. 19, Halo Combat Evolved. 18, Dead Cells. 17, Shadow of the Colossus. Number 16, Mario 64. 15, Resident Evil 4. 14, Portal. 13, Pokemon Soul Silver. 12, Severed. 11, Resident Evil HD. 10, Chrono Trigger. 9, Dishonored. 8, Metal Gear Solid. 7, Shovel Knight. 6, Portal 2. 5, Yakuza 0. 4, Hades. 3, Final Fantasy 7. Number 2, The Last of Us. Number 1, God of War Ragnarok.
Indeed. That's the ranking so far.
All right, well, since Connor's going to be a bitch about Phil.
Yeah.
Sounds fucking dickhead.
Am I?
For real. Listen,
What?
I'm going to go first. Doom 2016 is a game that knows what it's delivering. It knows what you want, how you want it, and why you want it. And it executes on that specifically perfectly. And me, personally, I value a game that knows exactly what it is very highly. I think fuck all this extra bullshit. Cut it out. Get rid of it. That's not why you're here. There's never a moment when playing the game where you're like, oh, I wish I wasn't doing this. Oh, man, this is lame. Oh, like, I'm never looking at my phone when playing this game. And there are games on this list that I believe are great games, but there are times where I'm like, ugh, I don't want to do this. I'm looking at my phone. I'm not paying attention to what's happening on screen because it's bloated. Like, it's just, there's too much going on. And while I can appreciate a immense amount of content, this game knows when to stop and when to leave you wanting more. You know, exactly. Well, we didn't even talk about boss fights. Boss fights pretty good, pretty fun.
No,
pretty
they're
cool.
not.
Yeah, they're good.
They're bland and basic. None of them.
I
are
disagree.
Yeah,
I will
each
not. One of them cause you to think about how you play the game in different ways.
No, it didn't.
Are they difficult? No.
But they didn't even make me think.
Oh, really? The
That's
last one
true,
was
yeah.
the one that I was like, this is basic and boring.
I mean, that's the thing. It's basic, but at least that one at least made me think when it first presented the other dimension of the fight. All the other ones, I never had to think. It was just like, go on Doom Brain mode. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like the other ones do this too. Because there's the one with the shield, and you go, oh, that's a shield. You're like, why am I not doing damage? Oh, it's a shield. Oh, I got to wait for it to go down. How does it go down? Oh, based off of one of his attacks. I got to wait for him to attack, dodge, punish.
But see, that's the thing. That's where it just kind of becomes rote memory. I didn't need to think. I was like, shield's up. I didn't even get surprised. I wasn't even like, wow. It was just like, okay, I shoot now. Yeah, which I did a lot.
I mean, that's more thinking than you're doing with the rest of the game.
Like the rest of the game, sure, but even on the individual basis of the boss fight, not that much.
Listen, it like in comparison to a FromSoft, yeah, it's lacking. But
Sure, but not even outside of FromSoft. Like even like compared to like 2000 adventure games, I feel like those bosses.
I think they're good to pretty good.
Well,
Whatever. That aside, yeah, like you just have to. Anyways, that all of that taken in consideration of like, and it knows exactly when to stop going. I feel like the credits roll and you as the player go, oh, I wish there was just a little more. But I feel like if they give you a little more, like it's a instant switch flip of like, all right, I'm done now. You know, like, and that's always a tricky balance to land. I think Doom lands it perfectly.
that's it.
Very excited.
Dark Ages, yeah, next year.
That was the
Fucking
thing
can't wait.
about this game is I was starting to kind of go like, okay, this is the gameplay loop. I'm done with this now. But I felt that on like the second to last mission, and it was already ramping things up at that point that I never actually felt that when I was playing the game.
Yeah.
So it did end perfect spot.
Yeah.
You know, like Last of Us, it's able to get in, do what it needs to do, and then get out. Which is
Exactly.
always a respectable thing for a video game to do.
Yeah, respect my time. I appreciate that. Thank you. And so for me, this is tricky. I think this is clearly above Shovel Knight, personally.
Really?
And honestly, the game is more replayable, and I have more fun than I did with Portal 2. And I think Yakuza 0 is bloated, and its story is poorly written in moments. And so for me, this lands at number 5, above Yakuza 0, below Hades.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hades falls into the same category of this game is we know exactly what you want. Hey, you can stop at any point. There's more if you want, which I think is a plus. But if you beat Hades, hey, you beat Hades. That's what it is, you know? It's only when you get into that top 3 for me where it's like, all right, well, we are games that are trying to do a little bit more than just be an excellent video game. But I love, like, we've talked about, like, S and A tiers, and it gets a little, like, murky around that Yakuza 0, Portal 2, Shovel Knight era.
Mm-hmm.
I think Doom lands in, like, A plus S minus territory. You know, it's in that weird middle ground. So for me, I'm at Doom 2016, right above Yakuza 0.
That's very fair. And I'm, you know, I like the game for effectively the same reasons as you do. Of course, as these things typically go, it becomes tricky when you start comparing them. And I think it's better than Shovel Knight. I think it provides an amazing first-person shooter experience, just like how Portal 2 offers an amazing puzzle game experience.
Yeah.
Bias included, I like shooters more than I do puzzles, but also I think those games they flow better. Good first-person shooters than good first-person or good, puzzle games. I have I could see myself, for example, replaying Doom and doing things differently, starting a new game from scratch. Portal 2, I would never do that. I played it once.
Well, you're getting the exact same experience, so it's just a matter of how well do I remember each puzzle.
Yeah, and really a lot of it does come down to I like shooters more than I do puzzle games. So and both of them do what they do so well, it goes above that. And Hades, you could probably guess where the debate of where it's going is. Hades, like Doom, has a great gameplay loop. With Hades, I can jump into that anytime. And I can enjoy the charm that is consistent throughout the entire game, whether it's dialogue, character interactions. I get so much more mileage out of this game than I do Doom that I don't think it goes beyond Hades.
For every reason you said, I think Hades and Doom are equivalent. I think what gives Hades the edge for me is that there is more, but you can opt in and opt out, and your experience is not compromised at any point in that. Whereas, Doom, you play through and you end it, and that's it. Hades, you can do that same runtime, play through, end it, and you'd be like, I'm good. Or we can keep going. There's a little bit more carrot on the stick for you if you want. But again, as soon as you're done, and the game doesn't damage you. It's not like you didn't see, well, I guess there is you didn't see the ending thing, but it's not like you didn't do anything, you didn't miss out on any content.
Yeah, right. That's true. And ultimately, still it's below Hades. Yakuza 0 is the deciding factor. Originally, I was going to put this above Yakuza 0, and as typical, these discussions can change my mind pretty easily.
You were going to put it above?
I was going to put it below.
Below. There we go.
And I'm going to stay there.
You bastard.
Yeah, because Yakuza 0 does so much, whereas Doom does one thing very, very well.
But Yakuza doesn't do anything to near the level that this does.
But, once again, it does so many things great, and there's so much of it that it elevates it higher in my mind. Whether you're talking about the side quests, the extra content, whether it's they call it, I'm so into anime that I know what it's called. Yeah, not sub-stories. It's the cafe. You're talking hostess bars. Yeah. You can run the hostess bar, do real estate. Yeah, exactly. You obviously have been pretty negative overall, I would say, on Yakuza 0's story. Narratively, is it the most well-written? No. But like Doom, it has tons of charm to it that extends beyond just the main campaign and carries it through the entire length of the game. Plus, once again, like I said, Doom has just, in terms of combat, great, solid, tight gameplay. Not as well compared to Yakuza 0. But Yakuza 0 is still incredibly fun, and all of those other elements just put it up a little bit higher than Doom. Another thing is, yes, I know what you're probably going to say, Tavin. Yakuza 0 has bloat. Whereas Doom does not. But the bloat I only really feel in Yakuza 0 when I'm going from objective A to objective B in story missions or side missions, because I have to walk long periods of time, and I kept thinking to myself, I started the mission, just sent me on the path of the mission rather than going from here to here to here. But aside from that, all of the other bloat the game has to offer, you can bypass. It's entirely up to you as the player to just ignore it and golden path the story, do side quests.
I think the story is where the bloat is.
Yeah, I don't.
If that story was 10 hours shorter, I wouldn't have as many grievances with it. But because it's 10 hours longer and it needs to find conflict, it needs to find reasons for the player to keep going, it overbloats itself, and it puts the characters in situations that directly violate their moral code because it's a video game, and you have to give them a new minigame or a new thing to keep it interesting.
And that's fair, especially with regards to the morality of characters. You talked multiple times that Kiryu has a section where he kills people after not, saying, I do not kill people. Completely contrasted.
Right. And for me, that immediately disengaged me from the rest of Kiryu's journey. Because the rest of the journey is about him not crossing that line when he already has. Mm-hmm. And the game goes on another 10 hours after that moment. And so it's just well, that's 10 hours of content where I no longer care about this character journey because you've ruined the point of the journey.
It's certainly a knock against it. I just don't think it completely screws up the entire narrative and Kiryu as a character. I see that as like, oh, the people who decide these gameplay sequences weren't getting the message of what to do. Not good game design, I agree, but I don't think it enough hurts the narrative. A bunch of people when he was in that car. Remember, he was doing the shooting segment, blowing up helicopters.
The whole fucking chase sequence
cars.
where he's blowing up helicopters and cars. It's like a 20-minute. It's a 20-minute chase sequence. Right, because they were incinerated in flames, Phil.
Yeah. As reasonable as those points are, I just don't think it does enough to knock it below Doom. And so I'm going to stay in my position of being above Portal 2, below Yakuza
On top
0.
of that, not every sub-story is created equally. There are some that straight up suck.
But a lot of the ones I played, in my experience, I loved.
Yeah.
All I agree.
Him. Me.
When?
When did I insult you?
By making him go last.
Oh, you said my ranking suck.
You did say that.
That was a joke.
You did say that.
Damn.
I mean, yeah.
You just wanted to cuck Tavin, didn't you, huh, Phil?
Because I stayed at number. I was going to say number beginning.
I didn't know that.
I think you guys just give Yakuza 0 too much credit and ignore the bad parts about it because you like it.
Part of that is the case, but it's also, once again, a tailor-made experience, more so than Doom is. You can choose what to do and what not to do. My only holdback...
disagree. But I disagree. And I feel the same way because I'm playing Yakuza Like a Dragon, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth right now, and it's the same problems where it's like, all right, we're going to cut away from this thing that you do care about to introduce this fucking Pokemon ripoff minigame. And I'm like, this isn't why I'm here. I'm not here for this. And it forces me to at least participate in it. And then there are side quests that suck, and you don't know they suck until you do them, and you're stuck in them until they're done.
But they're not that bad. Like, I never found a bad side quest.
I don't remember what the bad ones are, but I do remember there were times where I was like, as soon as this is over, I'm turning the game off because I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, all that being said, still, why exactly is it below Yakuza 0, above Portal 2? Okay. Everything?
I mean, that is the way it goes. So, Doom 2016 is now, once again, over the continuously overrated Yakuza 0. You guys make me sound like a hater. I like that game a lot.
I know.
I really fucking like it. It's really fun. But it's just not that good.
Tavin, I would be doing the exact same thing if God of War Ragnarok was not number 1. I get you. I understand.
Was not number 1.
Yeah, because I can't argue against putting some games above Final Fantasy VII, Last of Us. I'd still put Doom below God of War Ragnarok, but it's a lot more contentious of a point than...
even then, you're only putting God of War Ragnarok at what? Underneath Final Fantasy or Hades?
No, I'd put it below Yakuza 0.
That's insanity. Mm-hmm. That's absolute fucking insanity.
Yeah,
God of War Ragnarok?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. That is ridiculous. That's actually ridiculous.
The charm of Yakuza 0 extends beyond basic narrative that God of War Ragnarok offers.
You are not giving that narrative nearly enough credit.
I'm probably not.
That narrative does way more than anything in Yakuza 0.
Sure, I can agree with that, definitely. But
it's like Yakuza is a Sunday morning cartoon versus a Scorsese film.
Exactly, that's the point. Yakuza 0 is... That came at, I've, since that game's been ranked, changed my mind on narratives. If it's the, cookie cutter narrative of a typical, movie or TV show, Yakuza 0 does not occupy that space.
Yes, it does!
It's way more wackier. It's way more out there than God of War Ragnarok.
So it's just a cartoon as opposed to a gritty reality story. But it's still basic as shit.
With more charm than God of War Ragnarok. Mm-hmm.
And now we go to find out what we are playing next. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we alternate months. 1 month is the glorious wheel, and we let a random wheel of games that we've thrown into the stock to decide what.
You didn't list off all the games again from bottom to top.
I haven't done that in 10 episodes.
I know.
Because why are we listening to it?
It's a waste of time.
You can fucking read it.
Anyway,
I want to beat the shit out of you.
You're just upset at the game stuff.
Yeah, I'm upset at your ridiculous arguments that you refuse to bounce outside of your own perspective for.
Fair enough. That's a reasonable point.
This is the wheel. All right? There's a bunch of games here. We're picking from the wheel this time. We alternate months. Some months it's one of us. Some months it's the fucking wheel. This month is the wheel. Fucking, we can't. Last time we did this, we took out Hellblade. Hellblade has to stay in the list this month. Where's the other one? There's only one because I didn't use mine last time. It was fucking. Where are you? There you are. Fable 2. So Fable 2 and Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice have to stay in the list. Gentlemen, what are we pulling out of the list this time around? If you so choose.
Sticking with that, huh?
Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines taken out of the list. Connor?
Is that just an insult to me, Phil?
Fuck you.
Fuck me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do Persona 3.
Persona 3. Here we go. We're taking Persona 3 out right
I've done
there.
that twice.
And then,
no.
Where is old... Excuse me.
I don't think it'll be as bad of a game as some of these on the list.
No, there's definitely worse games on this list than Fable 2.
Like Sonic Adventure.
Yeah. And maybe Super Mario Sunshine. I'm taking
Yes.
Spider-Man 2018 out of the list. I'm not going to stand by that possible opinion because yeah. So anyways, here we go, gentlemen. Let's let the wheel go and decide what we are playing for the month of August, September. What month are we in? No fucking way.
Holy shit, Connor.
Whoa, before the cameras were rolling, Connor was like probably Banjo-Kazooie or some dumb shit like that. And then there you go. Banjo fucking Kazooie is the next game
I thought it was
going
to get on Kingdom Hearts.
It was
so close.
Where is it? I don't know. It's almost not even
It's
worth fucking...
Dishonored 2, then Kingdom Hearts.
All right. Well, yeah, there's that. Anyways, Dishonored 2 is fucking great. Anyways, Banjo-Kazooie. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you join us next month after whatever this month is, whatever this next month is, fucking August. We're in August? Yeah.
Correct.
So, at the first possible... recording date of September, whatever that is, join us, play it in the background, Banjo-Kazooie. Until next time, have a great time, and gentlemen, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye.